What is up, Nintendo Land? Welcome to Nintendo Open Air Podcast. Happy Halloween is in order as we are on the eve of All Hallows Eve. This week we're bringing you some haunting numbers from Nintendo, some scary leaks on the upcoming Direct, and perhaps the spookiest news of all, we have new info on Just Dance 2019. I know that sends shivers down all of our spines. So put down your kid's candy bag and drop out of that Fortnitemares match. This holiday season battle begins now. Alright, so this week we're going to start with the most recent breaking news. That is that a Nintendo Direct is on its way. Had some rumors, I guess, last week that it was going to be soon. Turns out the rumors were true. Starts November 1st.
Stop. It's time to stop with the Smash Directs. We know enough. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah, is anyone excited at the prospect of 40 minutes of look at the eyes on this character?
Yeah, I can't imagine after. I mean, I was surprised after E3 that they still wanted to talk more.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like someone had pointed out on Twitter that they're like it was 25 minutes of E3, and then there was a 30-minute Direct, and now this one's gonna be 40. They're like, someone needs to just put these all together and make the old Smash Ultimate Direct the movie. I hope.
Poor Sakurai Sensei. He's spending all of his time doing these directs and not actually making games.
At the end, he's going to go, one more thing, and then he's just going to stick a gun in his mouth.
One more thing, I'm quitting.
Yeah, it's rough. Go ahead, sorry.
They have been saving some stuff. I'm still interested to find out details on that other mode that they haven't shown us yet.
That's true.
But other than that, there's not a whole lot more that I'm really interested to find out.
A few more characters, probably.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably get another Smash Direct in, I don't know, January or February when they announce all the DLC that's coming. Or maybe they'll just announce all the DLC tomorrow. Like, Waluigi will be available as a DLC character first quarter 2019. Because that seems to be like the trend with them now is when they announce something, they'll be like, and DLC is coming in a while.
Yeah, you get that. Just it's out there, vague, broad release.
Like they did with Zelda and Splatoon. I mean, they announced that a little bit ahead of time, I guess, with Splatoon 2's expansion.
And I should add that the Direct is said, as he says, roughly 40 minutes, and then after that, it's going to be followed by a Treehouse live stream. I thought that was the most interesting part. And the Treehouse live stream will be featuring Pokemon Let's Go, Yoshi, and Diablo. I can just assume that the Pokemon Let's Go portion is going to be basically the demo that they've been trucking all over the country with some Treehouse people talking about it. Maybe show a few new things.
Show you how much fun it is to use that controller.
That's the only thing that I want to buy, really. I wish that Pokeball were a legitimate controller for other stuff, because I think that's totally cool. I'm not excited enough to buy the Pokemon game to go with it.
It is a neat idea, and but it's the money.
One of those things I've been careful not to let my kids see because I don't know if it's justifiable.
It's quite steep.
It is neat to look at, though.
I am waiting and seeing, just like on to bring it up, your Starlink berry that you've been playing a lot with lately. Right. I'm glad that you picked that up so I could kind of get your opinion on it first. So I'm going to do the same thing, except I don't think anybody's picking up Let's Go Pokemon, so I won't be able to get any of your guys' opinions.
I know we have one friend of the podcast that said they would be picking it up, but other than that, I haven't heard anyone else eager to play it.
The internet has your back.
I'm sure they do.
I've toyed with the idea a couple times, but still, I haven't seen anything that's made me say for sure, yeah, I'm still on the fence at best.
Yeah, I know my
I
daughter said
mentioned
she
it to the
wanted it for
wife.
Christmas.
Oh, go ahead.
I said my daughter has put it on her Christmas list.
Well, see, there you
She
go.
wants it.
Then you can't be a bad father.
But
No, I asked the wife because I figured the wife would be all about it, and she's just meh.
she could play it while holding the baby with the other hand.
Yeah.
That's true. With the Pokeball controller, totally.
Yeah.
Actually, you could just give the Pokeball controller to the baby, and probably she could catch Pokemon.
It'd be
Yeah,
like
it's just
it'd be
that
like
easy.
Twitch plays
Doubles.
Pokemon, basically.
Doubles as a rattle.
Yeah. And then she slings it
actually
across
rattle?
the room and busts out a window, and you're like, that was a bad idea.
Well,
I
that's
wanna
it. Yeah, after
see
she threw it on
stories.
the floor a few times, it would rattle, definitely. Go ahead, Mo.
I want to see stories of the people playing it 2-player. They're like, we threw the Pokeball in tandem about 3 times before we decided this was horrible, and we no longer wanted to do it. It's like, you know what? I'll just watch.
One of the other
Someone's
games
gonna buy 'em.
that they'll be featuring, I don't think there's anything new going to be revealed about Yoshi, probably some tidbits. I don't know. It still feels too soon on it because we had a pretty extensive PlayStation E3. Was that this year or last year?
Last year,
Right, maybe they'll show, I don't know, the title screen or something, but I'm not expecting a lot there. But the Diablo has got some kind of mystery to it, and it's thanks to some screenshots that have been showing up on Twitter featuring amiibos being used. And from what I understand, these have not been confirmed at all.
It's probably you scan in a cereal box and a crate opens, drops in game that you can open.
It probably is. Diablo serial confirmed. You heard it here first.
yeah, it's something called a treasure goblin, which I'm not sure what that is, but I'm guessing Diablo fans will know.
That's, I think, something you're. Oh, never mind.
Thank
I was flashing back to the Amiibo butt plug article from like a year ago.
But anyways, I think that will be the big reveal from the Treehouse portion. Will be new amiibo, and maybe we'll get Yoshi amiibo, and that might be in there as well.
A Yoshi Labo amiibo that you make yourself.
Yeah, we've been predicting that for a while, and it wouldn't surprise me too much.
I mean, if it's going to be called, what is it, Crafted World?
Yeah.
There's got to be some
And how
crafting
cheap would it
involved
be
somewhere.
to produce a cardboard Amiibo?
Right.
Right.
Cheap,
it could
cheap
be like
for
Mr.
them,
Game
not
and
cheap for
Watch.
you.
No, of course not. But right, it could be like Mr. Game and Watch, but just cardboard.
Yeah.
And I mean, as far as the actual amiibo itself, it's a very small thing, so it could be easily put into a piece of cardboard. I mean, it was on the cereal, right?
Yeah, it was a sticker. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't know. I hopefully there'll be some other surprises, maybe, but I don't know.
Yes. We should move into the second part of the information that was leaked about this direct, and this was before the direct was even confirmed, but through marketing materials, and it was kind of an interesting story how it was. Basically, the rest of the Smash roster was supposedly leaked through marketing materials by a French company, and how people are verifying this or however, whatever.
Oh, the Grinch leaks,
I
as they've
guess.
been dubbed, I believe, because there was some marketing material for the Grinch movie that was seen in the background of the photos. So that's dubbed it the Grinch leaks.
Yeah, in their process to try to verify this stuff, they basically looked at the material and compared it to other advertising material until they found the company that was most likely responsible for it. And they found this video for a bank that had a very similar style to this, and they started posting on this video saying, is this Smash related? Is Smash confirmed? Blah 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 blah. And eventually the video was actually taken down due to all the comments and the ruckus caused by it. So I thought that was really interesting. But the revealed characters, Shadow, Banjo-Kazooie, Isaac from Golden Sun, Ken from Street Fighter, Mach Rider, Gino, which I believe is from what is it, Super Mario RPG?
Gino is
Did you-
from Super Mario. Or wait, no, is it Earthbound?
It's Super
Gino
Mario
might
RPG, right?
Oh,
It could
okay.
Yes.
I didn't.
I think
play
there were
that.
only about 3 characters on that list that I had any clue who they might be.
Back up though. Did somebody say Mach Rider?
Yeah. And the last one is
Bogus.
Force Kids.
Mach Rider's bogus.
It has
There's no character to Mach Rider. You never see any character. I mean, you see the back of somebody riding on a bike, but there's no, you know what I mean?
Gino is Super Mario RPG. You're right on that. And then I don't know who the chorus kids are.
They're from a rhythm game. Oh my goodness!
Are we talking playable characters? Or are we talking like assist trophies?
Playable characters. Oh, I guess they're from. Those are the
Rhythm
little
Heaven.
those little white guys with the vampire teeth from Rhythm Heaven. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's been something that's been rumored since the last Smash game. That somebody wanted that added in.
You'll remember them from the horrible Badge Arcade catcher.
Yes. That's exactly what I thought of.
When's the Badge Bunny gonna get in Smash?
That would be. He'd
mean,
be good at this.
I haven't seen anybody asking for that, but he could like throw like a crane claw at you, or the little wrecking ball bombs.
You know, I wouldn't be terribly upset if he was actually a playable character.
Yeah.
He could work.
I would buy Badge Arcade Bunny before I buy Mach Rider in a heartbeat.
He at least
Insert
deserves
$1
one.
to do a final splash.
What if you could scan his amiibo to get extra badge pulls every day?
Oh, it would work perfectly if they added Badge Arcade to Switch.
Yeah, which I fully expected them to do. I thought Switch was going to be the system where they were selling you all the backgrounds and the stupid badges and all the stuff you don't need that you'll pay for. But not yet.
Probably.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell has Nintendo been doing the past 2 years? Anything? Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe we'll finally get folders for Christmas this year.
We've all been very good little boys. Maybe.
It would be nice if they were like, one more thing, we're gonna actually do something.
Switch UI update. You can now change it to red for Christmas.
But I don't think it's gonna happen.
No,
Anyway, more on news we do know is happening.
that's right. Well, the biggest news coming out is Nintendo's fiscal earnings for the second quarter. Now, while we're recording, or just prior to our recording, they are having their annual meeting where more information will be released. We'll be covering that next week. It's just too close to recording time, but we do have the numbers, and there are some very interesting numbers. So this is all to do through September 30th of this year, and second quarter. So the biggest news is Switch sales. That's past GameCube now. We're up to 22.86 million. GameCube was at 21.74 million. Switch 3DS sales are at 73.53 million. Wii U at 13.56, just as a comparison. So, pretty good. It's not the 40 million we were expecting to be nearing, but
it's steady enough. Yeah, I mean, this is the point where the hype is starting to die down a little bit, I feel like. And it's like, maybe I would have thought last Christmas would have been the big Christmas for it. Maybe this Christmas will be. But yeah, I mean, it's been out there long enough. People have opinions on it. I think it's just like with the Wii U. I think it's the perfect second console for your home. It's like this could be kind of taking, there's probably people who had PlayStations, but then also had 3DSs. This could probably fill that gap.
I think it's being seen much more as a portable system. I think that's how a lot of people view it.
Yeah, Yeah, I think a lot of people see that way.
Yeah, I think some people are waiting for, okay, one of these years they're going to discontinue the 2 and 3DSs, and then they're going to drop the Switch another $100, and then it'll be the portable system to go to.
Yeah. And obviously, they've still got a mainline Pokemon and Animal Crossing to release, uh, which will really make it feel like the must-have portable for this generation.
Yeah, we did get confirmation here on some release dates, by the way, on these games. We did confirm that Pokemon RPG will be coming late 2019. Animal Crossing and Luigi's Mansion 3 just slated as 2019 titles. And then I know this will be sad for you guys. Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3 is listed as to be determined.
Yeah, I've kind of
Bayo
expected
3,
that.
I could care less, but yeah, Metroid, I'm
Yeah.
more interested in.
It's been in that gray area of to be determined since its inception, really.
But Metroid games usually are, well, basing it off of Prime anyway, are graphically very detailed, beautiful games that they probably spend a lot more time on. Where the style is not as cartoony as some of the other Nintendo fare.
Are you saying
It's more of a realistic look?
Are you saying it may need a hardware refresh?
I don't know if it needs a hardware refresh. It probably wouldn't hurt.
No.
But like I said, if you look at the GameCube, I still think Metroid Prime 1 looks better than anything else on GameCube, like from a graphics standpoint. There's some good looking games, but I mean, it just, the stuff they did, it felt like they were really pulling a lot out of the system's hardware.
I'm still just sad that Pikmin 4 hasn't even reached to be determined status yet.
Yeah.
That game was supposedly finished years ago, so I don't know.
I think Pikmin 3 let them down. I think they expected that to be a big deal, but they should also look and see that nothing was a big deal on Wii U.
I think it did as well as anything else.
Yeah. And Pikmin 3 is easily one of my favorite games on Wii U. Yeah. And of the last 5 years, one of my favorite Nintendo games all around.
It was a favorite with our whole household, and yes, they marked it down and included it in some deals and stuff, but it has sold very well on the Wii U overall, despite they just haven't had full price on it.
Big fish, small pond, though.
I would love to see that played as a pointer style, where you use the Joy-Con as like a pointer, and just tap the button. Like if they could do it that way, where it just motion tracked through the gyro or whatever.
That's what the Wii U motion control thing did, didn't it?
Yeah, the gamepad. Well, the gamepad.
Or sorry, the Wii control editions that they released for Pikmin 1 and 2.
Yeah. But the gamepad, I used to love playing it in gamepad mode because it was touch control. So you would just touch where you wanted to throw the Pokemon. I might even play it handheld if they did that. Or the Pikmin, yeah. Whoa. Too many P's and K's. But yeah, I would like to see that game too. I think that one's not really, that's not one that you put out there to wow people though. Although arguably I would have thought neither was Mario Tennis. But
no. I would say Pikmin would generate more interest than Mario Tennis. I might be wrong.
Yeah, probably. It does. Pikmin doesn't have Mario in it, so.
Yeah.
But what if they gave a little space suit to Mario? And Mario Pikmin crossover confirmed. They did say Mario Odyssey, by the way, has surpassed sales of Breath of the Wild now.
Yeah, we had the numbers.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
Right? That's a standard Mario Zelda breakdown. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
Usually. I was going to say we got the numbers for the top selling games on Switch, and it is definitely Odyssey on top with 12. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I thought was a surprising one. It's up to 11, and Breath of the Wild is at 10 million units.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised Odyssey's higher than Mario Kart because, again, I know Mario Kart support. I know you didn't buy it, Jason, and I shouldn't have. But It's just one of those things that is everybody has to have on their Nintendo box.
That's where that discrepancy comes in, is the fact that Odyssey wasn't on Wii U and Mario Kart was.
Yeah, if Odyssey were on the Wii U, you're right. It would be below Kart.
I just think, looking at this top 5 list, it just kind of puts the state of where the Switch is at. Because after that, you've got Splatoon 2, which is kind of a natural choice, and then it's 1-2 Switch.
Wait, so 1-2 Switch, Splatoon 2, Zelda, Mario. What's the 5th?
Odyssey, Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, Mario Kart and I forgot Kart. Okay, so of all those games, those all came out within the first 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, and so of course they've had longer to sell, et cetera, but that's it. That's their big lineup. Is all their top games they blew out the door in the first 6 months. Most were ports or, rough ports of Wii U games. And what else you got, guys? Like they really blew their wad on Zelda and Mario.
And everyone pretty much immediately said 1-2 Switch was crap. Like as soon as it hit, all the reviews were thumbs down. So to think that that's outsold ARMS, that's outsold Mario Tennis, which I understand has been out last time.
It's outsold Kirby.
Yeah, but it was there was 6 games for when it launched. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they've packed it in.
Yeah, it's packed in now with tennis, so they're going to get more sales on it that way.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I almost feel like they used to pack in their best game, and now I think they pack in the ones that they think need help.
Yeah.
And they're just like, maybe with
and
the
charge you full price anyway.
Because Mario Kart 7, I don't think needs any help on 3DS, and they've started packing that in with everything. But
that was the other thing with 1-2 Switch as well, though, is that the time this, in the last few months, the one time that I did see kids playing a Switch in the wild, it was Mario Kart 8 and 1-2 Switch. Those were the 2 games that they were working on on a bus ride.
Yeah. And I guess as a child, just like with Labo, as a child, 1-2 Switch might be a little more interesting.
I think that probably had a better reception in Japan than it has in other parts of the world.
We don't even talk to each other here, let alone look at each other.
But we got some other interesting numbers, and this is just digital sales, which includes software, DLC, microtransactions, and Nintendo Switch Online. So since I guess it's comparing it to the previous quarter, it's had a 71.7% spike. It's up to 39 billion yen. So that's, I take it back. That was the highest digital sales quarter since the launch of the Switch.
Well, that big chunk of that's got to be the Nintendo Online thing coming in. That's had to give it a boost. And did Fortnite come in that quarter, or was it initially in the quarter before?
I think it came in that quarter because this is up to September. So
yeah,
I think it came in this quarter, but I'm sure it's been racking in. Racking up the money. It's only been like 4 months really, so it's probably this entire quarter has probably been the Fortnite quarter.
Well, kind of what we were talking about before the podcast as well is the microtransactions is a very curious thing to be included. It doesn't specify what all that includes, and we wonder if it includes the sale of skins in Fortnite, and if it does, there's a huge chunk of money.
Yeah, which they're getting a cut of.
Right.
But yeah, I remember I saw something the other day where somebody was like, it's been 4 months since the rocket launch in Fortnite. So, and that was, the season we started on. So,
yeah, I guess the Rocket Pass for Rocket League would have fallen in there too. That was their first.
That's true.
Can't get that.
And they've had
Looks like-
several other free-to-play games like Paladins, and there's another one or two that's come out that we haven't tried.
Warframe's not out yet, right? Or is it out? I don't remember. Yeah, we haven't. We've been too stuck in Fortnite.
Sure.
But I'm sure they also get a chunk of Rocket League, and Rocket League, especially right at the beginning, was super popular. People dumping tons of money into keys and stuff for that. Now there's Rocket Pass, so people can stick even more money in. Barry, you put a decent amount outside of Rocket Pass. You've bought keys and stuff for that, right?
Yeah, a couple
From
times.
that, so
DLC cars.
Yeah, a few of those too. Just
So, I mean-
not. Didn't go nuts with them, but maybe a third of the ones that interested me most.
would you say it's made at least as much money off of you as Splatoon 2 has? Maybe not the initial
No.
investment, I guess, but
Well, I mean, there's the initial investment with Splatoon, and then there's the Octo expansion, plus there's
Yeah.
some amiibo I picked up. So yeah, Splatoon 2's well above Rocket League.
Yeah, if you count the amiibo, definitely.
Fortnite has definitely gotten its fair share out of me.
Yeah, I think all of us here except Barry who have played Fortnite for any length have put at least some money into it.
At least $10.
Yeah.
At least. I think that Jason, you put exactly $10 in, right?
That's right. Well, yeah, pretty much.
Because it pays for itself.
Well,
Or maybe you bought one of the starter
starter
packs. So
Slightly more.
yeah. Starter packs are genius.
Yeah.
It's the only way you can put in just $5. Otherwise, the minimum $10 is genius. Like the least amount of money you can put in is $10 no matter what.
Right.
So it's like if you're $1 short, sorry, you got to put in $10. That probably makes a lot of money. It's like wasn't the Wii shop like that too?
Yeah.
Like the Wii channel, like you couldn't buy a specific amount, so it was just like you had to buy it in certain increments.
Yeah, you had to get $20 cards or something like that.
I remember sitting down when I had, well, I guess when it was shutting down, and I had like 20, or what was it, 2,000 points for the
Yeah.
shop, and it's like, okay,
$2.
what games could I pick?
Oh.
To use, or it was basically $20, whatever.
Nothing. Oh.
What games could I get to use it so I don't leave like $3 laying down, that I could never use.
Did you get anything?
I don't remember them. I
Memorable games.
I did. I know I bought Mega Man 9 at
Oh.
the time, or whatever it was, the WiiWare version.
Yeah.
I know that was one of. I did buy several WiiWare games. It was good stuff.
I had forgotten your Mr. Mega Man, as we learned a while back.
Yeah.
I think I've still got 1,300 Wii credits I got to use before they.
Oh wait, yeah, you still
expire.
do. That's right. It is still a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like one NES and one SNES title.
Contra.
If I didn't have to dig it out, you make me want to dig it out and buy Contra just to play. But anyway, going from kind of sales booms on things, kind of got a head note here. 3DS has seen on a year-to-year scale a 65% decrease. So it's only moved 1 million units over the last year, and it's had a 54.6% drop in software sales over the last year. But Nintendo assures us, and this is a quote from them, "We will continue to leverage the platform's rich software library and its hardware install base to further expand sales of evergreen titles," which I think they've said something just like that a couple times before.
Yeah.
Evergreen titles.
We will find ways for you to keep paying for the stuff you've already got. Which I still would be surprised if we don't see more out of Odyssey, but The longer it goes, the less I think that's a thing. Unless next year, when they've got nothing again, they come back and say, "Oh, by the way, there's more levels coming to Odyssey."
Well, we got some. This is kind of jumping ahead a little bit from where we were going, but we got some interesting quotes from President Furukawa. And one of them was, "We need continuous growth. We must keep releasing new software that includes DLCs and other contents for big titles that are already out." And of course, we just talked about the big three titles: Mario Kart, Breath of the Wild, and Odyssey. So it's still a possibility. I don't know what else he could be talking about, unless he's speaking futuristically about Pokemon and Smash and anything else.
I did see that the Sonic the Hedgehog racing game got pushed to 2019. Maybe that's because they're going to add Sonic to Mario Kart 8, confirmed. So.
They might as well just merge them, man.
Yeah.
Sega needs all the help it can get.
You don't want all that trash in Mario Kart.
Yeah, they let like 2 characters in from the Sega racing, and that's it, probably.
Knuckles, Tails.
2?
Sonic.
I was thinking 1.
That's true. Yeah, no, he's right. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. That's
Shadow,
probably
maybe.
it.
Dr. Robotnik, possibly.
Okay, so outside of Sonic characters, I don't
Mean Beans.
Sonic's got
those will be assists.
got a Mii Racer outfit in there already from an amiibo unlock. That's I don't know.
That's
Um,
Do you think if they did add DLC to Mario Kart 8, do you think it would push sales again? Or is it just too long gone?
Oh man, I mean, somebody would. I've got one friend he's a curious case to me, but he bought a Wii U, hardly ever used it because he bought it waiting for Breath of the Wild, and as we know, that didn't really pan out too well. But he bought it like a few years before Breath of the Wild came out, and he played Mario Kart was like one of his things that he played to kind of bide his time, and used to carry his Wii U in a backpack so he could go to people's houses and play. It was just like the game that he was like, I can bring this anywhere and we'll have fun playing Mario Kart. And he rebought it on Switch, and that's pretty much the only game he plays on his Switch.
Well, honestly,
Wow.
if somebody's carrying around their Wii U, like the Switch was custom made for that dude.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Although I don't know if he's been on in a long, long time. But
you
when
know
he
what?
is on, that's the game he's playing.
And you know what, though, man? I didn't really think about it. I guess I was the perfect use case as well, because like twice a year I would pack up my Wii U and cart it over to the family get together or whatever.
Yeah.
So now it's way easier to bring this. I'm sure we said that.
I'm sure he would probably. Yeah, I'm sure he would probably. There's some people out there. Plus, there's the completionist of some people. Like I think. I'm starting to think we're less hardcore than some people, because I know there are people out there that will be like, if there's DLC for it, I gotta have it. I'm just not complete without it. And it's like, I'm not necessarily one of those people. But they could always tack on more tracks. Yeah.
I'm kind of that way towards Mario Kart, and that's the reason I haven't bought it, because I'd made all this progress and worked hard, to 100%
unlock all those vehicles, time trials.
Yeah. Do all and I don't want to do that again. It was torture the first time at times.
Yeah. No. If only there was a way to carry over your save data.
I had a guy I work with had Breath of the Wild beat it on Wii U, and that was kind of, to him, that was the sticking point why he wasn't going to get a Switch, is because it's like I already played this game here, and like. He started thinking, I want to Switch now, but I want my save game. Yeah. He found some process online to be able to back up his save game, and traded in his Wii U and got a Switch. And there's theoretically a process to restore it to move a save game from Wii U to Switch for Breath of the Wild. But he's got the file.
It's like
he's never done it on the Switch.
Like, we can freeze your head, And at some point, hypothetically, we should be able to reattach it or grow you a new body. We just don't know how yet.
That's exactly the state he's in.
He's
He's
got
like,
his Wii U save data in cryogenic freeze.
someday, hopefully, if I'm lucky, I will be able to reawaken it and it will live again.
That's quite a
That's a
dream.
great analogy right there.
That's a feature that I would have liked, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got far more hours into Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, and I'd love to get my proper save files over to the Switch.
Barry is a double dipper, as is my friend who played the Mario Kart friend. He did buy it on Wii U and played it on Wii U because he was like, I said I bought the Wii U for that. That's what I'm going to do. And then when Switch came out, he's like, I'm going to have it again.
I'm gonna be a backwards double dipper, man. I'm buying that guy's copy of Breath of the Wild off him. The guy that traded in his Wii U.
Yeah.
That and the physical copy of Splatoon that I bought twice and gave both copies away.
Yeah, I got rid of a lot of my Wii U stuff, but it also didn't read discs, and I knew I probably wasn't going to get another one. If only the Switch could play Netflix and use the internet.
If only you could browse the web and watch Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, I think eventually we'll probably get, I would think eventually we'll get some sort of Pikmin stuff, and we'll probably get Super Mario 3D World. That might be next Christmas, maybe. It's like, let's just get all the Wii U games out of our system.
I think this Mario, what is it?
Deluxe.
Mario Brothers Deluxe.
Yeah. New Super Mario Brothers Wii U Deluxe.
There you go. Whatever that is, I think if that does well, that will determine the future.
Yeah. Well, I figured they didn't want to put 3D out because it would be confusing with Odyssey.
Yeah.
But my daughter was just asking about that the other day. She's like, remember that Mario game where you can be like a cat and climb up walls? And I was like, yeah, that's not on Switch yet. Which I'm surprised she remembers.
The good Wii U Mario game. Yeah, they're not bringing that one over.
She was probably 3 when we played that. So I'm surprised she remembers it at all. But she did have a plush Mario cat. So maybe that's it.
That's probably one.
But yeah, and the Cat Mario show is somehow still in production. I can't imagine. That seems like a canceled 3DS video thing.
Yeah.
You know, have you guys seen that? The little Mario and Peach puppet show?
They announced new things through that. Nintendo announced this stuff.
I think, is it like the Japanese Nintendo Minute?
Oh, it kind of is, I guess.
It's like the Cat Mario show where it's just puppets with Cat Mario and Cat Peach. But
it'll blow your mind.
Whatever. Oh, maybe they'll announce a cat suit for Smash. Cat Peach is in Mario Kart 8. So, but not Cat Mario.
Surprised they haven't released a cat costume for Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, that's true. Why not? Give us all of them. Give us the Super Mario World cape. Be better than a stupid baseball costume.
Zombie was pretty neat, though.
Yeah, that's the best one. See, the hatchet in the head makes it edgy for Nintendo.
That and just being able to throw the hatchet around, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Different.
Don't try this at home, kids. All right, we got way more stuff today.
No. That's right. Before we totally lose track of Mario Kart here, we did have some more information on mobile games coming out. One of which still being scheduled for this year, Mario Kart World Tour. And we still don't have anything except a
not this year, this
logo?
Quarter. Sorry.
Not this year, this quarter?
Right. Mobile's coming out, they said before, well, I guess they said before the end of the fiscal year.
Right, that's what I was meaning.
So, yeah, all right. Sure.
So, Yeah, good point to make it clear there. So we've still got till the end of March, basically, for it to come out, which
But
is
don't
kind
worry,
of
you
when we
won't
expect.
care then either when it comes out.
No, I don't know. The other information we got regarding mobile comes from a different source. Comes from Sensor Tower, which has been a source in the past, about Dragalia Lost. So this is reporting on their first month, which they've been out basically a month at the end of September. So they've sold 28 million, or made 28 million on sales, which is second behind Fire Emblem Heroes, who had 48 million. But they were the best of the two in ratio to player spending compared to downloads. So in Fire Emblem Heroes, basically per download, the player spent $6. But in Dragalia Lost, a player basically spent $18 per every download. So as an average, it's mind blowing to me.
That's, and again, like I was saying earlier before the cast, we were talking about it, is like somebody must be out there spending hundreds of thousands of dollars or something, because the vast majority of people downloading this game are not spending a penny. Maybe this has to be of people who put money on the game. Yes.
Somebody
Is there
out
any sort of
there,
clarification like that?
somebody has
I
to
don't think
be the guy on YouTube or the guy on Twitch that's decided this is my jam, that I am going to
This is
be
what
the
I'm gonna
Dragalia
get
Lost
all my
guy,
views on.
and
Yeah.
I have to buy everything in the game that I can to make as much progress. But yeah, I don't know if that balances out. But
I'd like to see that same number break down, spent per download for things like Pocket Camp and Pokemon Go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Jason, have you ever put any money in Pokemon Go?
I haven't.
Look at you.
No, I'm free to play.
Now,
that-
No skin.
like to me, usually once I put a certain amount of money, or once I put a certain amount of time into something, I almost start to feel kind of obligated to throw them a few bucks.
Huh.
But not in your case.
Well, in
Which is,
Pokemon
I'm not
Go,
giving
it's
you
like
crap. That's fine, but
if you're willing to keep hitting Pokestops every day, all the time, to keep getting more free stuff.
yeah.
Which Jason is a man about town.
Apparently, I am. See, there's all kinds of secret things you don't know about me.
When's the last time you didn't spin a Pokestop in a day?
Probably when snowed in.
But you had to think about it.
Yeah, I did think about it. And yes, the
So-
closest Pokestop is too far to walk.
If you've got nothing to do all day and you could just hang out at home all day, does Pokemon Go get you out of your house because you have to go get that Pokestop?
Sometimes, to a degree, I guess.
Or you're like, man.
When I was playing it, I would get out of the house to go get a Pokestop,
Yeah.
but that was during the first few months, right? Like the wife and I genuinely made an effort. We would go hiking and stuff, and we did the whole thing with our phones, but that only lasted so long.
I mean, I make sure to make a point that I do all the daily stuff, which is pretty quick to do every day. I mean, it's just if you have to go a little bit out of your way to do it.
Yeah. Catch a Pokemon, spin a stop, maybe send a gift.
Complete a field research, send a gift,
Oh.
or something.
No.
That's a new thing to try to keep up with, but that isn't necessarily required every day. But getting back to Dragalia Lost and evading my personal life here, I think the big thing here is the people that downloaded Dragalia Lost are people that are super into it. I don't think it's attracting casuals at all, even though I've seen it advertised while watching Crunchyroll or on YouTube or something. I really think the people playing it are people who are super interested in it or were super pumped for it to come out. I don't think it has the casual crowd that Fire Emblem Heroes had.
Or just people that like RPGs. Like you said, there's got to be a certain number of people that just all go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and the iPhone Store and say, "Show me RPGs." Siri, recommend an RPG for my mobile. when they look through it and like, oh, this one's made by Nintendo. They're sort of reputable, or is at least published by them.
I mean, I do
Yeah, I
that.
don't.
If I'm looking for something to play, if I know I'm going to be,
Yeah.
offline for a while, or I need something to play when I'm not playing Pokemon Go, obviously, then I'll look around and see what the top games are or what's suggested.
In-app purchases warning, but yeah, I guess I haven't heard anything really outside of our group about Dragalia Lost, so
I see stuff in the news, but it's just announcements like a new event is going to start or something. I don't really see people talking about it or talking about booming sales or waves of popularity.
outside of the Nintendo channels, I haven't seen anything on Twitter talking about this new Whirlwind Dragalia Lost.
You know what? That said, I really didn't hear shit about Fire Emblem until all of a sudden we started hearing these crazy numbers, and I'm like, we knew Jason and Max were playing it, but
Fire Emblem's one of those things you do when the lights are out and you're under the sheets. Okay, now I'm gonna boot up Fire Emblem Heroes where no one can see.
Pocket Camp only made the news outside of Nintendo channels when they introduced the cookies.
Yeah.
Your loot box variant.
I by the way, logged back in. I forget what I logged in for. I logged in for. Oh, it's because I had used my Nintendo points to get some. What is it? The whatever the currency is in that Leaf tickets.
Yeah.
Because I had them expiring, and I was like, I guess I'll just buy these, even though I don't play it. And I booted it up, had to do a huge long update. And I was like, man, there's just cookies all over the place. It's wanting me to buy this cookie, buy that cookie. It's reminding me about memories. Jack the Pumpkin King was in there for a while doing a fishing tournament. I got an Eevee hat. And I had a bunch of stuff that was expiring soon. But
it held my interest. Hat?
I did get the Cappy hat as well, yep. And I did a little bit of fishing to get the bone hat and the bone shirt, but did not get the bone pants. And then the next day I went in and the fishing tournament was over. Why would you have a Halloween event that doesn't even go up to Halloween? Jeez, Nintendo.
All right. Reeling it back into information from the financial briefing, or from the financial report, rather. So, got a couple more quotes from Furukawa, who was talking about, I guess, the future of Nintendo, and it says it's going to be more of a focus on online play, more genres, and diverse games to draw in people who don't currently play Switch. So, it's kind of...
Well, yeah, now, like, I feel like with Nintendo, now that we have an online service that you're paying for, we have to put some sort of online into everything we do now to justify you paying for that. That's just another microtransaction.
Then they did that with Mario Odyssey. They put in the balloon thing, which is online because you're competing against other people, and it's not doesn't require the online. You can still play Mario Odyssey, Luigi's Balloon without having the online service, from what I understand.
Yeah. And some things you can do. I saw something online the other day where somebody was complaining that they just digitally bought Splatoon 2 after seeing all the hype for it. And then once they bought it, they found out that they had to pay for the online service. Like, Nintendo never said anywhere that you had to have the online service to play it. And it's basically an online game. Why would you even sell an online game that required you to have the online service? And I want my money back, and Nintendo won't refund me. And I'm like, is this guy trolling?
That's somebody just trolling. Yeah, that's either somebody just trolling or somebody who's incredibly stupid.
They've got an extra chromosome to share with the world. Yeah, I thought that was amazing. I don't think that's going to happen, really. But I guess technically, you do have Splatoon solo and the Octo expansion. You could buy
Yeah.
the Octo expansion, or you could buy a year of online. Take your pick.
Jason, how much? I mean, again, for a young kid who's maybe going to put 10 hours into a game, or maybe put more time in, but not necessarily get all that far. I mean, what do you think of the single player for Splatoon 2, Jason? Since I know you've played it the most thoroughly.
Ooh.
Is it? I mean, is it a legitimate single player game? The first one almost kind of was. It was short, but it was it was cool. Is the second one? Is it longer? Is there more to it? I mean, beyond the fact that they make you repeat a bunch of crap.
How long does it even
grind
take?
through
Is
it?
it 2 or 3 hours? Maybe.
Oh, I think it'd be longer than that. It does seem
Yeah.
much more drawn out, and some of the stages, especially in the last couple of areas, take quite a while to finish just a stage. And I would say that it is a single player experience, but I don't know that you would come away a Splatoon fan if that was your only experience with
Yeah.
Splatoon. I wouldn't recommend it as a single player experience, I guess.
Although Pikmin 3, like I said, is one of my favorite games, and that was about 3 hours. Like, once you knew what you were doing, you could go through that in about 3 hours from start to finish. Or at least I would. I would play it in one sitting. Sadly.
I don't know. For Splatoon 2, I've got two of my boys who play it, and one prefers the online matches, and the other prefers to play single player. So
Yeah.
I guess it's just up to taste, really.
Is the single player the younger one?
No, actually, the single player is the older
All
one.
right. Wow.
So, of course, he played it a little bit more of the first Splatoon as well, and again, mostly the single player. But
Like, my daughter likes Fortnite, but she always wants to play the mode where there's no enemies. So,
Yeah, the empty world mode.
yeah, the playground. So, and I've had her in Splatoon's single player before, but I think that's a little too complex for her still. She'll get there. Anywho.
All right. So earlier on, we mentioned something about some Switch bundle. Well, I guess it was last week that we talked about the Diablo Switch bundle coming out. We got some news coming out on the upcoming Switch bundles, and this was exclusive to Japan. The information was, but it's the Fortnite bundle, which I thought was interesting, is exclusive to the My Nintendo store in Japan. So if you're in Japan, you want that Fortnite skin, gotta buy it through the My Nintendo store. It's gotta be a big score for Nintendo, I would think. Would make more money that way. And also, I didn't remember this, but there's a Minecraft bundle coming out. Both next month.
I think I do remember hearing about the Minecraft bundle at one point and thinking it was a little weird. The only other Minecraft bundle I remember saying was, of course, an Xbox one because it's Microsoft.
Right.
But they're getting in bed together because Sony's kicking both their asses, so that it makes sense.
Such an old game to just now be bundling.
I feel like I used to would see stuff, you were out and you'd see kids with like those pickaxes and things from Minecraft, or Minecraft shirts on, or to hear them talking about Minecraft or
creepers.
something. Right, the creepers. And I think that's kind of passed. I think that's moved on to Fortnite.
I will say, this weekend, I went to a Halloween event with my daughter, and there was a kid dressed up, full body Minecraft guy with one of those foam suits that was a block head, a block body, and
did it have the sword? I had one of those. I
probably
saw one of those with the Minecraft. Yeah, they were carrying a sword, but sounds like the same costume or something comparable. Yeah.
So I think there are still probably kids that are into it.
Nice.
Of course, Halloween stores always have costumes. I think they just keep putting crap out every year until it's all gone. Because you'll see stuff and you're like, why the hell are they still selling Force Awakens crap?
Well, because because the next movie was less popular, maybe.
I guess so.
But speaking of Fortnite and Halloween, I did think it was interesting. If you don't follow Fortnite news, the first official Fortnite merchandise to be released is released through the Spirit Halloween stores. So it's kind of interesting.
Exclusively, which
Yeah,
means
exclusively.
every other store's probably got some bootleg where you could be like, oh, I know what that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like when you like those Halloween stores always have that like off-brand crap where it's like it's not a Raggedy Ann doll, it'll just be like red hair, yarn haired rag doll. Because they don't have a license to say Raggedy Ann.
Right. Yeah.
So they probably do have like, unpaid for soldier.
It'll be
That's a brilliant name right there.
it'll be battle royale fighter.
Oh yeah,
something.
like
I'm
that.
yeah.
But yeah, I did stop by a spirit store locally and just looked. I mean, it was pretty picked over. And from what I've heard, Fortnite. This is the year of Fortnite. Obviously,
Yep.
This is the year that it blew up in. So this is the year for its Halloween. Might not be around next Halloween. Who knows? But they've said that their shipments are selling out like as soon as they get them on a Tuesday. Like they're basically gone. And some of them are getting 2 shipments a week now. But when I went, all they had was like one mask, I think, a couple shirts, and tons of boogie bombs.
Yeah, I actually went to one of the stores as well to check it out, and it was picked over, and they had T-shirts for sale, but a lot of them were the same size, just different variety.
Yeah. And nut sizes that would fit a man of my size.
Nor my size either.
But
You wanted the Bright Bomber shirt, I know.
I did. They had a Durburger shirt I saw.
The one with the Durburger on the moon?
Durburger in space, yeah.
Was that a reference to the game? I didn't get that.
I don't know. It's weird. But I couldn't really see myself wearing it, especially in public and especially at $25.
Yeah, the stuff was steep.
You could buy the skin cheaper.
That's the truth. You could have a digital version of the complete costume.
Yeah. So whatever, but yeah, good for them. Get that money while you can.
Right.
I look forward to Epic's downfall. I didn't realize that Epic is like, I think Tencent owns 40% of Epic.
I didn't know that.
So it's I guess a few years ago, a bunch of companies bought pieces of Epic, and yeah, it said Tencent owns like 40%. So I'm sure any company that owns 40% of that's doing pretty well.
All right. Well, I want to move on to one more rumor that has been coming out. So there is a rumor regarding The Legend of Zelda, which is I guess you would say that's a Netflix series coming out, right?
Yeah, it's an old rumor that's kind of gotten some new fuel to the fire, because I remember they were talking like a year ago that there was going to be like a Zelda anime or something that never happened, and then but yeah, now they're saying I think or were they no, they were saying there was going to be a Zelda live action that was going to be like kind of Game of Thrones for the family. And then now this one's supposed to be an anime, I think.
Yeah, but a producer has come forward. Adi Shankar, I'm going to guess on the pronunciation there, is working with an iconic Japanese video game company. But he doesn't mention a specific game in the series he's working on, but it's kind of insinuated that would be The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, he said an iconic Japanese video game company and an iconic title of theirs, although that could be Street Fighter from Capcom or other things. But yeah, he said November 16th is when he'll be able to make his official announcement, which got me thinking maybe they'll announce Netflix is coming to Nintendo and you can watch.
How many Japanese video game companies would you consider iconic?
I mean, Capcom is
Sony.
Yeah, Sony.
Sony's not a quote unquote video game company, really.
That's
Oh.
true.
That's true.
But there's a lot of publishers that are Japanese.
Iconic,
most of the
though.
ones.
That would be
I-
iconic in Japan.
Yeah.
Iconic, yeah, exactly. Iconic period. Like worldwide, I think Nintendo, maybe Square Enix. Who else? Maybe a couple others. Maybe Capcom. I don't know. Street Fighter was huge.
Final
People would
Fantasy,
recognize that.
Mega Man.
I guess you could call Sega iconic.
Well, they've already confirmed that.
Yeah. The Final Fantasy anime. Yeah, it could be. I don't know where Nintendo's
There's
name
already
got
been
thrown
one.
in, other than just iconic Japanese, and everyone said, "Oh, it's got to be Nintendo." But would you guys want to watch a Legend of Zelda anime?
Honestly, no.
More than I would want to watch a live action,
No, definitely.
but in either case, not.
Oh, it's also been
Not-
confirmed that Mario was not going to appear in Wreck-It Ralph 2, which was rumored for a long time that he would be in it because Bowser was in the first one. They've said, but Nintendo has, wanted to throw its IP around a little bit, so that would be in line: a Mario movie, a Zelda series.
Yeah, that's an odd choice unless it was a cost thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just that, and again, thinking back to the Zelda cartoon, that would probably be interesting to my kids, and I would probably check out an episode or so and see how it was or something.
We'd all. Yeah,
Depends
I
how
don't.
it goes.
Do you think they'll
I-
throw in the "Excuse me, princess" line
No, I don't.
with a little wink?
That would be nice. It depends on how good of a director they get. I don't know his
It's
work.
gonna be Metroid. No one sees it coming. But that's got the edgy, cyberpunky look. No, I don't know.
Animal Crossing.
Ew. They haven't really. I mean,
There's already
that's
been an Animal Crossing movie.
yeah. Animal Crossing could. I mean, just the merchandising alone, for cute characters for kids. Kids will watch anything, as we all know.
And they could sell something there.
Yeah. Plushies, t-shirts, blankets, snuggies.
I have to say that there's probably at least 2 members of this podcast that would probably buy some of that merchandise. I mean, in Mo and Z.
Jason and Jason.
Max would too. Max is not here to defend herself, but I think I know Max well enough to say she would buy Animal Crossing merchandise.
Yeah.
We all know Max well enough to say she would buy Animal Crossing merchandise.
I would say I already have bought Animal Crossing merchandise.
We bought tons of amiibos, all of us.
And amiibo
Yeah.
cards.
If amiibos count.
On the cards, yeah.
I have a
Amiibo.
KK Slider plushie too. And I
Look
bought
at-
it long ago.
I have a Mr. Rossetti plush.
Wow.
There you go.
I don't even have an Animal Crossing plush. You guys are hardcore.
You're not man enough.
I guess I'm not man enough. But anyway, yeah. So this kind of brings up an interesting topic, and this is from this was from Japanese Nintendo, who's a great guy we follow on Twitter, and this is from Nintendo Dream Magazine. I don't know why it's the December 2000. Oh, I guess it's the upcoming December 2018 issue, which must have been recently released. But it basically lists off the top Nintendo characters. And it's a little bit different order than you would probably think. The top character somehow is Kirby. Over Mario, over Link, over Pikachu.
Well, they did have that Kirby Cafe there.
Was this a poll they did, or
They
what?
did.
Amongst Japanese schoolgirls?
No, this is amongst readers of this magazine, which I would assume would be children or, I don't know, adults probably too.
Young Japanese girls.
But looking down through the list, there's the Inkling is there, the Pikachu and Eevee are both there. Rowlet is the other Pokemon that makes it in. Isabelle, of course, that we were talking about Animal Crossing. She's pretty far down in the list. But
Recent characters. Isabelle. To me, putting Isabelle in Smash is a slap in the face to anybody who's a longtime Nintendo fan. But that's a side note. I hate when they do that. I hate when it's like, here, this is the representative of the Animal Crossing series, some character that has only been in the most recent game, because that's what we're marketing.
I love how non-Nintendo characters made it onto the list.
yeah,
It's like
Sonic,
when you go, yeah, when you go to ranker.com or whatever, there's always like best Game Boy games or something. You'll find a Genesis game on there. Or whatever. People are just stupid. And it'll be voted up to like, yeah, exactly. It'll be voted up because people go, oh, yeah, that was a good game. I remember that on the Game Boy.
I love Sonic the Hedgehog.
Now, I know Max isn't here to help me appreciate this, but there's two characters from Fire Emblem that have made it on. They're kind of lower on this top list here, but Leon, which I'm sure you're all very familiar with that character.
Oh, yeah.
From Star Fox.
That's right. Great Leon. But anyway...
I thought you were talking about a Fire Emblem character. I'm like, Leon and... Wait, Star Fox or Fire Emblem?
No, it's Fire Emblem. I was joking.
We just had to talk about Star Fox because it's... But anyway, he's like the enemy for Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones. He's kind of the main antagonist in the thing, so it's interesting. None of the more recent characters made it in, really. We did get Takumi from not the last Fire Emblem game, but the game before that. So
this was a poll of 8-year-olds. People who don't remember.
Japan just has different.
But they remember Leon.
They're just different. Maybe it's from a game we didn't get here or something.
Yeah. No, that's a game I remember playing it. It's interesting. Any characters there that I know you guys have thoroughly scoured this list? Any characters missing from it that you would think would have made it?
That's all predicated on your first assumption.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no Samus on the list. Samus is a great character.
That's true.
Well, okay. That's surprising. But we know Metroid doesn't do well over there.
Yeah, or anywhere really.
No Pikmin.
Yeah, they got the big ones and they got the cute ones. It's all the cute ones.
No Waluigi here either.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to a more interesting topic, I guess, for us.
Hooray.
Hooray. And we've mentioned Fortnite, I don't know how many times already, but we might as well talk about, since it is Halloween Eve, and it's just turned over to Halloween for me, but Frightmares is going on. Fortnitemares, rather. I don't know why I keep calling it Frightmares. But we've had some interesting events. It seems very much that Epic doesn't test things that great to great detail before they release it.
You'd think.
You'd think they would, but Moat reaped some benefits from it this week.
Yeah, I was one of the lucky ones. So they often will have these little challenges in the game where they give you an insignificant amount of XP. So like I'm at a level right now where it will take me 25,000 XP to go up one level. And their intended reward for one of these matches was 150 XP. And their intended reward for another was 200 XP. So I should have gotten 350 XP. But somebody must have hit the wrong button there. And instead of that, they were giving out battle stars, which is what takes your paid pass up that you can buy tiers for your pass. So I ended up getting 35 free tiers rather than 350 XP. So my character is fully tiered up. I'm at maximum tier 100 for the season. With a little help from them. And it was a thing that was up for about 2 or 3 hours before they patched it. But they were able to get on that pretty quick. Yeah. There's a lot of other things they can't seem to patch quite as quickly. But But this they patched it out, so Jason got 350 XP, and
Yeah, it was kind of an outcry there because you had to get up. It started at 9 a.m. Eastern time, I believe.
yeah,
So if you weren't up pretty early in the morning, this was Sunday, right?
yeah, Sunday morning.
So if you weren't up early Sunday morning playing Fortnite, you completely missed out. And people checked in later. People got in right at the end of it as they were fixing it. And basically, Epic's response is, if you got it, we're going to let you keep it. And I figure that's only because they would be way too complicated to try to remove it.
Yeah,
And if you didn't, too bad. Here's what you would have got anyway. So
yeah. Which I don't know how to feel about it. Like I said, I just was I woke up. I was up that early. I went on Twitter and I saw a news update that hey, there's a bug going on right now where people are being given free tiers. And they're like, I fully expect this will be patched and no one's going to get to keep whatever they get. And I was like, well, and it said it was from like 2 hours ago. And I was like, oh, I bet they caught that. And then I was like, let me go in and just check. And it was the mission of all the missions that they could have been, this was the easiest missions because it was just simply to jump out of the bus and land at certain locations.
yeah,
So, that's something that you can do in a second. So I just hopped in the game real quick, dropped down, and boom, jumped off a cliff, killed myself. And then when I exited, it was like, congratulations, you've got all this stuff. And then it said 200 more battle stars for dropping somewhere else. So I went into another game and did the same thing. And sure enough, I was like, hey, I'm all maxed out. I got everything. So it's nice for those who got it, but for those who didn't, it sucks. Although the real Fortnite nightmare for me is the fact that they haven't been giving us our friend bonus, which you
yeah,
get for playing with a friend. You get like 40, up to 40%, I think, per team member that you squad up. And Jason and Max and I play, and we've had other friends play with us sometimes. So we should be getting like 120% extra XP.
yeah,
And for the last 6 days, 7 days now,
yeah.
we haven't been getting it, which,
It
they can't seem to fix that.
it's not just a feature that isn't working, but it's part of the paid battle pass as you unlock the friend bonus. So basically,
Yeah.
it's something you've paid for that isn't working properly, and they haven't, Epic hasn't even
Yeah, they haven't
officially
addressed it.
acknowledged it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a few complaints on Reddit, but I'm kind of surprised. Like, I haven't really seen the player base upset about it either. I've seen a few things here and there on Reddit, a few things on Twitter, but for the most part, no, nobody's really complaining too much. But they did do some Halloween stuff, and they've added like zombies to the game, and
They're
so
fun.
yeah.
Yeah. They've had a lot of great Halloween skins. Some pretty unique ones, I think.
And also the play with a friend challenge, which is one of the daily challenges, is bugged as well, which probably has to do with the thing. And actually, I just typed in friend XP on and then Fortnite on Twitter,
Hmm.
and there's quite a few hits now that I look at it, um, even just from today and yesterday, and so there is a ton of stuff on there. So I guess people are complaining. Epic's just chose to forget it or ignore it or whatever. But
Yeah.
oh no, I'm still playing. I'm still going in there grinding.
Yeah, it just makes the grind that much slower. And
Yeah,
when you start getting
which
up there in tiers or up there in level, rather,
yeah.
it's very slow.
Well, and that's the big deal is that these tiers that I happen to get 35 free of, people at the beginning of the season have the option to buy the battle pass by itself or to pay more and get 25 free tiers to start 25 tiers ahead of everybody else.
And that's right around
Um,
$30, so that's a
yeah.
sizable investment.
So So they paid and got 25 free tiers. I did not pay and got 35 free tiers. So
Do the
that's
tiers
where it
all
becomes an
take?
issue.
Do the tiers all take the same experience, or the higher ones take more?
The higher ones take more.
Okay, because I was hoping maybe.
Well, no, they all
No.
take. I guess they take the same. The levels, the game has levels and tiers. The tiers get you the good stuff. So I guess those are all the same. Those all take 10 battle stars.
But you earn battle stars at a slower pace the higher level you are.
That's true because as like if I go up one level, I might get 2 battle stars for it. So, or it's 2, 5, and 10. So it does the experience. It's made to be intentionally unpleasant so that people will buy tiers,
Right.
and there's a certain number of people that are not going to be buying tiers because they got so many for free, and I mean that's over a third of the battle pass, that you're able to skate through.
Yeah,
So
that was the
that's a
thing
lot
I
of money.
noticed with the one on Rocket League was they made each tier take the same amount to get through, and the farther you get more bonuses to the amount of experience points you get in a match.
Yeah.
So that it goes a little quicker as you go on, actually. And once you clear the 70, you start getting painted and certified versions. So I
Right.
got through the main lot now, and now I'm getting special, a little extra special items each time I go up one, which is kind of nice. But
aren't they
Yeah.
the same item, just like a painted version of the same thing that you already got?
yeah, it's a painted item or a certified or both of the items I already got. Which if it's painted, I like that better because I can get a bit of choice in customizing things based on the different colors. Certified, I don't care so much about, but it gives me something I can trade away or give away or whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But normally, if you were to just buy a tier on any given day, it's 150 V-bucks, which is basically $1.50 American. So times that by 35.
It's,
What a value!
yeah, it's a lot of money they've let slip through their hands. A lot of potential money.
Yeah,
But,
but who knows how many people? But it was a Sunday, and it was as the challenge got released.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it was early in the morning, there were people probably waiting for that challenge to drop because they just wanted to be one of the first ones to get it done. So anyone that was a early bird basically got $52 worth of tiers for free, or $52.50, I guess it works out to. Not a bad deal, but they do sometimes put 10 tiers on sale for $10. So at the very least, I got $35 worth of free stuff for the game, kind of. But mainly what I got is many hours I don't have to grind.
Right.
But I still kind of have to grind for. There's other stuff that they put behind an XP wall. So to get my costumes up, I gotta grind and gotta complete weekly challenges. There's a secret character that unlocks once you've done 7 weeks full of challenges. So there's still plenty of stuff I have to do that you can't buy your way into because you can't buy XP. But overall, what did you think of the Fort Nightmares experience, Jason?
I thought it was fun. It was unique. I like it.
Instead of having players chasing you, you've got players and NPC zombies chasing you.
Yeah, I do wish, and they were pretty good about balancing that out, so it was more fun later on. But I do wish there was a mode to play just against the zombies,
Yeah, they should have put them in playgrounds.
because you have to be really careful about where you're playing against them at, because you'll be shooting the zombies, and basically someone will just know you're distracted and sneak up behind you, and you're dead.
Yeah.
It's frustrating in that way, but otherwise, it's been fun.
I've heard plenty of people complain that they don't like it and they want it to go away, but it's a limited thing. Like this is like 2 weeks or whatever. It's like
Yeah, I think it does end within a week or so from now.
So it's not like it's going to be here forever. I'm fine with them doing stuff.
Yeah.
This is the one time a year they can do it, but they kind of made it play into the season story as well. So we'll see how it all ties together. I don't know that they did Fort Nightmares last year as part of the Battle Royale. Or if they did, I don't know how they did it. But I know it was Save the World, and I know they had some Halloween skins last year.
And it is all from cube. They all come from cubes, which is connected to Kevin. The big cube that's rolled around the island is now floating, and different things.
Yeah, and there's cube shards that are what the zombies are spawning from. And there's a new character with a cube shard pickaxe. Did you notice the new glider? There's a new train glider that you get that it looks like it's filled with shards of cube in the back of it.
Oh yeah, it's a steam engine looking, but it's got the coal is cube shards. It's cool. I didn't put that together. That's what it was, but yeah, you're right. It's extremely loud, but extremely cool.
Anyway, that's Fortnite.
Yeah, we know we love to go on about Fortnite here. But as promised in the opening, we are going to talk about everyone's favorite game, and that is Just Dance 2019. So a new product is coming out, and this is kind of an interesting product. I think it's going to be exclusive to the Switch. Well, it says it's a unique and exclusive design cuff made for your Joy-Con. And the colors, and it's based on the colors of Just Dance 2019. As it says, the most popular dance game of its generation. In case you didn't know that. But basically, it's kind of like wristbands that you can attach, has little holsters for your Joy-Con to go into. And you can dance hands-free, or whatever you want to call it, however you want to put it. But they're $20, and they are available in child and adult sizes. Or they're adaptable to, rather, they stretch.
Normally, I would think these wouldn't sell, but it's hard to get an idea on the selling power of Just Dance. I think maybe they should have bundled it in, but if you see these things, they look absolutely ridiculous.
Have you seen them in store?
I have not.
I haven't either.
No, I've just seen them online, but there's going to be plenty of these left on the shelves, I have a feeling.
I would think so.
But I don't know.
If you're buying Just Dance, that's your jam. Might be
These are
what you're looking for. Yeah.
Instead of having to hold the Joy-Con, you can just dance. It's a worse looking Power Glove. Kind of.
That's an interesting comparison.
It's like two Power Gloves.
It's the Just Dance version of the Power Glove, yeah.
Yeah. It basically just makes it so you don't have to hold the controller.
Yep.
All right. Well, we love Just Dance.
We love Just Dance. I don't know, Barry and Z does, and they don't like us poking fun. Probably.
I have nothing to say about Just Dance.
Who are these people, and why do they keep making these games, right?
Yeah,
I don't know
there's
if
people
I've
out there
ever
buying
seen
them,
it.
but
Outside of the little screenshot, I don't think I've ever seen it actually played anywhere.
Well, you can download the demo. It's available. You can see what all the hubbub's about. I did.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen that in your recently played before.
That was early on. I deleted it very shortly after.
Sometimes one play is enough.
I gathered that I wasn't very good at it, and I had no desire to try to get good at it. But
All right. Well, I think I want to end up on some sad news here, and I was hoping that Max would be with us to discuss this, but we did find out some news on Elder Scrolls Online. And this is a quote for them: "As we have thought about Switch, but Elder Scrolls Online is an enormous game, and it just will not work. I would love for it to because I love Switch. It is one of the largest games ever made, and it just will not fit on the Switch." Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's what you get when you not only make it underpowered, but you only put 32 gigs.
And cartridges, like, you know what I mean? They can't distribute on a big Blu-ray. They can't, give you a giant download.
They could
It's
sell.
just,
It's free to play, right? Wasn't Elder Scrolls going to be a free to play? I think
Was
the
it?
online. I
didn't
thought
think it
this was.
but
I could be
I
wrong,
didn't.
but
I
I
could be too. I'm not really
I know
sure.
they wanted it on mobile and they wanted it on everything. But either way, if you're going to sell it, you're going to have to sell it for $120 or something and include, 200 gigabyte SD card or whatever it's going to be. It's like at some point a publisher has to make that decision that it's just not, and they're going to get, I mean, we've talked about that before. They're going to get to that point with games where some of these games coming out are so big, they can only compress and whatever so much that they're going to say, is it worth our while to put it on Nintendo Switch when the files are going to take up the entire hard drive? Because they have to basically make every game with the person who doesn't have an SD card in mind.
That's a good point.
And Smash is going to take a huge amount. I forget what that is, but I remember that's going to be a huge game too. That's going to take up like over half, I believe.
That'd be interesting if it was big enough that if you bought a Smash bundled Switch, that it had to be the physical version because the download wouldn't fit on the base system without a card.
Yeah. Um, uh, the digital storefront, I guess, says Switch Smash Brothers Ultimate's going to be 16 gigs when it releases. And Nintendo always is doing updates and stuff like that, so that's half there. But when you compare it with Doom and Wolfenstein, I think are around like 22 to 24 gig each. And so I've got a memory card, so I'm okay. But yeah, it's hard to sell this Switch bundle, which comes with a digital copy of the game, and included free of charge is you now have the 15 gigabyte model if you want to use that digital copy of the game. It's like a kid gets it on Christmas and all of a sudden half of your memory's gone, or your storage space, I guess.
Can you imagine how long of a download that will be?
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
Especially,
But I'm sure the cartridge will probably still have a really long download with it too.
yeah.
They always do day one updates for games. I remember that about the Wii U. It's like every single game I'd buy, you put it in, it's like, updating.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And I saw that with Starlink. It had about a 3-hour download. Of course, you could play without it. So while you were waiting for it, you could hop on, play a bit, and then let it do the download while you slept that night or whatever. But
yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of stuff in the news about Red Dead Redemption's got a pretty lengthy download update, day one update that people have been complaining about. People don't like to wait for their games. But yeah, hopefully Smash digital bundles end up on eBay with people just selling their game cheap because they wanted to get the physical or they wanted to get the Ultimate Edition. I'm sure you'll see that. Or if people just wanted to buy the Ultimate Edition but don't necessarily want the game digitally. The people who would buy like a Smash dock and Smash Joy-Con.
That's right. But not the physical version of the game.
Yeah. Bring back physical Nintendo. Or don't. We're too lazy to change cartridges, I guess.
That is true.
But yeah, hopefully when that updated Switch comes out, they'll remember to put some extra storage space on it.
And we also got confirmed at the same note that Fallout 76 will not be coming to Switch, right?
Yeah, that's another one that Bethesda has basically said, hey, we'll just kill all the speculation now. It's not coming to Switch ever. So we love the Switch, and we definitely will be putting the next Doom on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some things you just can't do. Do you imagine if one day Nintendo made a system that was powered like the last generation systems? They're getting there, slow but sure.
I keep thinking with every new console that comes out that this will be the console where I don't have to feel like I'm missing out on something because the Switch can't do that.
Yeah.
Or this Nintendo console can't handle that.
Everything they do is a technological miracle. Like they were somehow able to squeeze this onto Switch.
Yeah, no, that's been Nintendo since, well, the Wii,
Yeah.
and arguably since the 64 with the cartridges, and then but really since the Wii is when this BS started. They stopped playing the power game with the GameCube because the GameCube, right, the 64 and the GameCube, they decided people don't want a more powerful console. Right, that's what Nintendo took away from the Nintendo 64 and GameCube eras, were that people didn't want the bigger, more powerful console. They were spending too much money on it, and it's because you made shitty design choices because you're fucking idiots. But
I thought the
that wasn't
GameCube
their
was
takeaway.
comparable to
I thought the
the
GameCube was most powerful of its generation. I might be wrong. As I understood, the GameCube was the most powerful one for that round. Does anyone know different?
when it came. I think when it came to specs, I think the Xbox was the most powerful of all of them. But
Really?
I think GameCube was more powerful than PS2.
Yeah, Sony was lagging in the power department until the 3.
Yeah.
But I thought the Cube was the most powerful. I'll have to look that up. But right, it was a powerful box. It was a
Yeah.
substantial
Yeah.
step up. And N64 was also, like, that one was more powerful than anything else. They had that partnership with Silicon Graphics. They spent a ton on that. And it didn't get them anywhere, but that was because stupid shit like cartridges and mini discs and not being a DVD player. Those were their dumb mistakes. But
like the Wii, the PS2 being the least powerful, stole that generation.
That too, but it wasn't grossly underpowered. It was just
they were all at least. That was the last time well, I guess not all of them. Let's just be honest. That's the last time Nintendo was on an even or relatively even thing. But even that disc, I think some people didn't want to make the games because it wouldn't fit on the smaller disc.
Yeah, no, it was.
I think the system was capable of playing it. It just they couldn't get that much media onto a disc to actually make the system play it.
I think that wasn't that what happened with the Final Fantasies?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big Final Fantasies, they skipped N64 because of cartridges, and then they skipped the GameCube because of mini discs. And it's like, so you know what I mean? It's like Nintendo decided with the Wii, people don't want a powerful console. They want something weird. That's going to be our direction, because that was the thing, is they kept doing that. It's like, why can't you just make the standard? Like, why do you have to do something different? Like the N64, I get the logic of the design choice. The GameCube, there was no logic to that. We're just going to be different just to be different.
I remember
and
when
we're not going to support DVDs.
Like I wasn't comfortable going to a disc. I was like, a disc is going to get scratched up and all this stuff. This cartridge will be good forever.
Yeah. You definitely are in the minority.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, I would say PlayStation sales would bear that out. Yeah. Right, people were comfortable. The general public was comfortable with music CDs by that point, I would think.
Yeah, I guess so.
To me, the PlayStation was the everyman console in the same way that the NES was. That it was, you know what I mean? It was a simple gray box. It played CDs you were already familiar with. It played, it's not very powerful. Like, something I've discovered from my mini hacking is it's far, like, the PlayStation is very easy to emulate and runs on very minimal, you can emulate it on very simple hardware. Like, it was basically barely a step up from a Super Nintendo.
Speaking of which, did you guys notice the PlayStation Classic has finally unveiled all of the games that will be preloaded on it?
Long after I stopped caring.
The
Yeah, I
internet
noticed
is
that, but I didn't know them.
underwhelmed. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto 1 is going to be one of them. That no one wants. I mean, like Tekken 3, Twisted Metal is going to be there. There's one of the Metal Gears games is going to be there, but people are not excited.
The first Metal Gear Solid and then the VR missions were the only ones that came out on the first PlayStation.
Yeah, it was Metal Gear Solid is the one that's coming. And Rayman. And Rainbow Six, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, everyone's favorite.
Well, there's Tom Clancy's got its fans, but it's just like, here's the thing about the PlayStation. Nothing on the PlayStation was exclusive.
Yeah.
Right? Rayman, nobody gives a shit. Like, everything on the NES and Super NES Classics, to my knowledge, there's probably, like Pac-Man, I guess, but right, there's a handful of things, but the majority of those things.
Well,
Metal Gear's exclusive. What's
PlayStation 1, Xbox wasn't around for PlayStation 1, right?
So no, Xbox came out with PlayStation 2, but
so these are all exclusive
Sega
to PlayStation.
Sega Saturn.
That's true. Or Dreamcast, maybe.
And Tekken's just the crappier version of Virtua Fighter. Like, PlayStation. You know what I mean? Because I've been going through the mini and the ROMs and stuff. PlayStation games suck. They were just like Nintendo in a lot of cases. They were good enough that people bought them and enjoyed them well enough, but they're all just repetitive, unmemorable. You know what I mean? And honestly, to a degree, so was the Genesis library was kind of that way. No, I mean, I disagree. There was a lot more character to the stuff that came out on the NES. Whereas to me, at least when I'm going through ROMs and stuff, there's a lot of samey same on the PlayStation, and like, you know what I mean? Like, I have, when I'm trying to do a best of, right, Nintendo, it's a substantial portion of the library. Sega, it's a less substantial portion of the library, and with PlayStation, it's really you're hunting and pecking for the good stuff, and the rest is just shit. It's just shovelware. It's like the Atari 2600, right? That was what Sony wanted. Is they wanted to get out of the gate. It's kind of like Nintendo's same strategy with the eShop now. We don't care what we've got. We just got to have games for this thing.
Yeah.
And that was Sony's mindset for the original PlayStation. So 20 games. I'm hard pressed to think of 20 games on the PlayStation that I would give a shit about. And
no ability to update it or anything, just like the NES classics and stuff. So I think Nintendo's stuff.
No official way.
We'll see.
That's the thing is, to me, the selling point for the PlayStation Mini. I mean, and again, I had these things I had the NES and Super NES. I had these Super NES for like a year and a half before I finally decided I was going to start screwing with it. But it just, at some point, I kind of popped that cherry because 20 NES games on the Switch is not enough. And so you just, once you go over the line, you never come back. So I have no interest in any of these mini things now. If it's hackable, if I can add a hard drive to it, I mean, basically, if it's an upgrade from the NES Mini in terms of just the physical computing capability, then I'll buy it. But otherwise, I couldn't care less.
We'll see how strong the nostalgia is in the PlayStation department. I feel like everyone loves Nintendo, and PlayStation was a specific audience, especially PlayStation 1.
That's the thing is PlayStation is you played it because it was there, because you had it, because the PlayStation at the time, remember the Nintendo 64 was a $250. How much was it? It was expensive for its time. Whereas
Yeah,
the
probably
PlayStation,
200
I
at
remember
least.
my girlfriend picked me up a PlayStation for $100 when it was still, you know, relatively early in its life cycle. Not new, but you know, still doing, you know, still on the upswing of its cycle. They were able to be had for $100.
Yeah.
You know, and that was right. That was part of the selling point for the original NES, and definitely the selling point for the Game Boy. It was Sony just ripping Nintendo's strategy. It was just kind of undercut, cheap out where you could get away with cheaping out, and just make it just barely powerful enough to do what you want and sell it as cheap as humanly possible. If I remember, Sony sold it at a loss. Didn't they sell the original PlayStation at a loss, or do we know for sure? Does anyone know?
I think they did the PS2, but I don't know about the original PlayStation. But they might have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. But point being, I just, to me, that the PlayStation is kind of a hollow, soulless console, the same way that Sony is a hollow, soulless company, and just doesn't have, you know, it doesn't have the Nintendo secret sauce, or even the Sega secret sauce. Like, I would imagine a properly done Genesis Mini would do better than a properly done PlayStation Mini.
We'll
Right.
find out this Christmas.
Yeah,
Where did they
we'll
push
see.
that? I don't remember if the second one got pushed or not. They've been out forever. There's Sega Genesis Minis that are out there.
The Genesis Mini was the one that you told me got pushed. Well, here's the thing. There's been the flashback consoles, and this is Sega's problem since its inception. If you slap your brand on every shitty thing you can push out the door, then people don't trust your brand anymore.
Yeah.
So when the quote unquote good Mini Genesis comes out, the fabled, you know, it's nobody's going to give a shit. It's not going to sell very well because people are going to think, oh, this is another one of those crappy consoles like that came out a couple years ago that was shit. Yeah.
Well, the average consumer's gonna see, like, there's been Genesis. If you go to any Target,
Yeah, they're not going to know the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just going to know, oh, my buddy bought one of those a few years ago and it sucked. So they're not going to buy the new one.
Might as well just do a Genesis controller with yellow, white, and red on it. Plug and play.
Wait, yellow, white, and red?
Composite
RCA
jacks.
cables, yeah.
Yeah. I guess
Oh,
they do HDMI. They just do a
you're talking
Sega
about the
Genesis
little
controller.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised. I wouldn't. Do they have? I wouldn't be surprised if they already have one of those, man.
I don't know.
Like they have the Atari one. They have the Intellivision one.
Who knows? That's what's coming next. All right.
Sounds like we've petered out on this topic.
Yeah. I think Jason was trying to wrap stuff up.
Yeah, this is definitely a scary topic. Dude, that's fun.
I hijacked it. This is welcome to the new PlayStation podcast.
All right. Well, before we sign out tonight, wanted to.
Yeah, that was too much time on Sony. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, no problems. I was going to bring up. Zia's been streaming some stuff on Twitch actually, and I have to highly recommend the most recent one, which is Pepsi Man. If you have not witnessed Pepsi Man before, go check it out.
It's only a minute long. It's just the intro, but it's if you've never heard, or if you've heard of the fabled Pepsi Man, it's worth watching the intro on our Twitch stream.
Yeah.
And at some point, we're gonna actually play some of these terrible old games and stream them and make fun of them. We'll have to pick a night to do that. Because I've been hunting just to bring it up, hunting through the collection, man. Or hunting through ROMs. There's M&M's games. There's half a dozen McDonald's games, and then there's some that you never knew. I never knew were ads. There's a Chupa Chups game, but in the box art, there's you know what I mean. There's no indication it's a Chupa Chups game until you actually start playing it. Like the start screen has a giant Chupa Chups logo on it.
I don't know what Chupa Chup is.
It's a lollipop.
Oh.
But anyway, Zool, Ninja of the Nth Dimension, was its massive product placement for Chupa Chups. And were you guys aware there was a Skittles game? I think on PlayStation 2. It's called Darkened Sky.
And it's Skittles?
it's a deep, involved, apparently relatively good RPG that just so happened to be a Skittles license game, where you collect Skittles. Those are the items, like you're right. It's the collectible item because right, it's just a MacGuffin. It's just a random collectible item in any given game, and this one it happens to be Skittles, and the different color Skittles and different combinations make different spells. So you collect, right, so many Skittles, like 2 oranges and a green and a yellow, and that is, some kind of power up for your sword or whatever. And there's cut scenes where they're like sitting around eating Skittles and talking about, how the rainbow's breaking through the darkened sky. Like that's where the darkened sky thing comes from, because it's all about like the whole Skittle rainbow shit. It's bizarre. Look it up. Darkened Sky. SKYE.
Video games based on products are always top notch.
Yeah, I checked out the little intro for the Pepsi Man one, and at first I was like, this looks like a commercial that I remember from way back when somewhere.
Oh, see, to me it looks like 2 dudes in a handy cam, but
I think we had a length discussion after the podcast last week about Pepsi Man and some of the quality video from Pepsi Man. I think we determined it was probably just one dude, and some reason
I figured out the camera's moving in the like the scene the opening scene that's up on our site. The camera does move. Somebody's walking with the camera
all right, so
for a moment, but then right, every subsequent scene, as far as we can tell, it's just on a tripod in front of the dude, like in his house.
Yeah.
Like it had to be. They had a budget. They spent money on the game. They spent money on the Pepsi Man theme song, and then they had no money left to. And they probably even hired. Oh, we're going to hire an actor, and they hired the guy. And then like, now we got no money left for like a set or a script, or we're just going to come up with. They like shot like a half hour worth of video in obviously one afternoon. Oh, by the way, that the scene also up on Twitch. If you look, there's a 213 area code phone number in a Westchester dental office in the background. So if you Google, you can figure out exactly what street corner that is in Los Angeles.
Oh, nice.
That was shot at. And it totally just, it looks kind of ghetto. Well, moderately, but it's.
Make sure you plan your trip now. You go doing the sightseeing for the Pepsi Man tourism.
I should start offering tours and charging people video game historic tours.
Well, the thing about Pepsi Man, though, while the guy is an American and he is speaking English, it is subtitled into Japanese and was only released in Japan.
Yeah, it was only released in Japan. Yeah.
But it's like, you guys looked up the dude's Mike Butters is the actor, and you guys looked up his IMDb, and what other movies did you find out that he's been an extra in, basically?
He was in some of the Saw movies.
He was actually a named character in the Saw movies, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had a long list, and a lot of it just says, so he played such and such character, uncredited, such and such character.
Yeah, it's
credited.
Yeah, dude at party, uncredited, guy sitting at bank, uncredited, or whatever. Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I think I've seen him before and stuff.
Yeah, he's got a vaguely, and maybe that's how he gets acting gigs, because he has a vaguely familiar looking face. He looks a lot like a buddy of mine. He also looks a lot like the dude that was dressed as Luigi at the Halloween thing I was at this weekend.
Was it the dude? Was it the same guy?
That was just because he looks kind of like a tall, lanky kind of guy.
Yeah,
he's blonde. He's got that kind of Nordic Viking look to him. I have a buddy of mine that I have grown up with since junior high school or whatever, who's just got that same build. He's kind of a big, goofy looking blonde dude. And I think that's like cool to Japanese people, by the way. That was why they picked him as an actor. It's like, giant white man. Like they kind of find that funny. So to have him like eating chips and belching and pissing and like that, they probably Oh, stupid American. They probably found that hysterical.
Yeah. And this stuff is not made up. It is actually in the game, and it is cutscenes that you are rewarded with. So
It's your reward for completing a level, and it's the video quality is exactly the same as if you were to sit around drinking beers with your buddies with your phone for an evening. Well, in 20 years ago, if TV, old
With your camera.
CRT television quality, yeah,
Yeah.
it's exactly that. Like it's not even that quality of video. It's you sitting by yourself watching TV with a camera on yourself for an evening. Like, well, I guess we live in the YouTube era now, and that's kind of a thing, I guess. Never mind. I'm from an older generation where we look at that and go, what the hell is this crap?
Yeah.
But nowadays, that's what the kids watch.
Eh.
Right, Max?
Yep.
Right. Oh.
Max likes Pepsi Man.
Yeah, I'll watch you play it.
No, nobody wants to play Pepsi Man. I played through the first level. I actually, you know what I mean? I actually unlocked a whole cutscene myself.
Ooh.
And aside from demonstrating it for you guys, I really would not otherwise play it again. And you know what? And honestly, I hate endless runners, and that's what this is. So I mean, right? There are
Right.
certain friends of the podcast who rave about how this is true gameplay. The endless runner. This is right. It's the minimalist thing. So there's certain people that might totally be fired up for this, but not me.
it would be a fun game to play, just as if you got friends
Drunk.
over or something and have something funny to do. It would be interesting.
I think it's a popular Twitch streaming game for the curious.
Exactly why we should stream it.
That's right.
We can do an evening of that and some M&M's games, some McDonald's games.
If this
Sounds
sounds like, if this sounds like
Yo-noid.
this sounds like content you want to see, be sure to check out and give us a subscribe on Twitch. Hit us up with some comments and say, "Hey, man, I want to see some more Pepsi Man." Or maybe you've had
Right.
experience with Pepsi Man in the past and it's changed your life. I could
By the
certainly
way,
understand how it would.
The 7
Like
Up
Mike
spot
Butters?
had like
Oh.
6 games. Yeah, I'm sure it changed his life.
I'm sure it has.
He can do video game cons and sign autographs for
Totally. I'm sure he's got, he has in certain circles, he probably has minor celebrity status. I'm sure he could show up to gaming conventions, be recognized. I would if I were him. That'd be fun.
Yeah. that would
Hey,
be.
you're the Pepsi Man guy. You're not really Pepsi Man. You're just the dude on the Pepsi Man game.
Yeah, he never says he's Pepsi Man or anything like that.
Yeah, nor does it give any indication that he would be. Like, at the end, they should have him hop into a phone booth and come out in the Pepsi Man suit, and you go, wow, this guy's been Pepsi Man the whole time. Pepsi Man in his off time sits on his ass, eats pizza, drinks chips, belches, farts, and pisses, and takes video of it. That's Pepsi Man. What a hero.
He is a hero.
And at the convention, he'll sign your copy of your game if you can actually find a copy.
Yeah, those are few and far between. Thank God for the internet, huh?
That'd be a real collector's item there. Autographed Pepsi Man.
Yeah.
If I ever were to meet that guy, yeah, I don't know. I don't I don't know if I'd ask for his autograph or not. If I had a copy of Pepsi Man, I would have to, I suppose.
Yeah, you would have to do it for all of us. Sing this
Random
song.
point of note: do you think Mike Butters is a real name?
I wondered about that.
Yeah.
Could be. There's a Butters on South Park.
That's what I was thinking. That's the only place I've ever heard the name before.
Did they rip
I don't
off Mike Butters? Anyway. We're getting off on a tangent here.
Maybe they were
Welcome to the
maybe they were
Microphone
fans of Pepsi
Podcast.
Man, and they thought, "What a weird name. We should name a character that."
Yeah. I doubt it.
Could be.
Well, that is scary. Happy Halloween.
Yeah. 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 Hopefully, everyone has a safe and happy Halloween. Thanks for tuning in and checking out our podcast. As always, if you got some comments for us, some questions, we'd love to hear from you. Hit us up here at YouTube where we do all our recording. You can check us out on Twitter at NOA_podcast. And of course, you can listen on Stitcher and iTunes as always. And check out Twitch for Pepsi Man. So thanks for listening and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Party on.
Happy
Happy
November
Halloween.
1st.
Enjoy some of that candy that's stale now.
Go get it on sale.
Yeah, that's dude. Day after Halloween candy sales. Good,
That's-
good, smart man.
That's the stuff. Good night.